What's going on, guys? We have another episode of Wisdom Earned, Not Taught. I'm here with my dad. Dad, go ahead and give us a shout out.
Hello, everyone. Like my son said, we're having another episode of Wisdom Earned, Not Taught. And we thank y'all guys for being here to keep us straight and maybe get some wisdom from you guys as well.
All right. So, first thing we're going to talk about is self-control. And my dad just asked me, what's my definition of self-control? I think self-control is your ability to do something of your own power. Like, I have the power to do this or not do that. Mm-hmm. And I think that in and of itself is self-control.
So, if you said on your ability to do it on your own, you say?
Yeah, like if I have the ability or the power to choose something or not.
Okay.
Choose to do something or choose not to do something.
Okay, but when I think of self-control, I more think on the like in a situation, something that may have happened or happened to you, or something that you have to respond to. When I think of self-control, and in a way that it may be a negative situation.
Okay.
That you had to respond in a positive way. That's what I think when I think of self-control, because in my experiences, when I have to control myself, it's normally because something that happened or something that took me outside of the norm. So now I got to react in a way that's, first of all, me being a Christian, Christ-like, and at the same time, I can't let it take me places I don't want to or regret going.
Okay.
And that's what I think of self-control, because I say that because if nothing really occurred, happened, or anything happened, it's kind of you just walking your walk. You're doing what you normally do. Yeah, you got to make decisions on certain things that you have to say. I got to decide to do this, decide to do that. But self-control strikes me like I gotta control myself right now. Mm-hmm. Because the situation trying to get me out of control.
Okay. Like, give an example of a time you might use self-control. I do understand what you're saying, but I think, okay, yeah. In your situation, I think it's better used self-control, because you might be emotional, you might be angry about something. So give me an example.
Someone made you angry.
Right.
Let me say it that way. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty much example. Somebody made you angry. Now you have to respond to the anger. That's what self-control has to step in, because I don't want to respond back with anger.
Yeah.
So that means that's when the self-control has to step in, because if I didn't control myself, just the vice versa, self-control, control yourself is basically what it's saying. If I don't control myself, I'm going to blast back with anger, which that doesn't no good. Mm-hmm. So that's how I look at that, like that on the self-control. That's just an example. Getting angry, or it could be a several different things. But that's a good one. Just the anger side is a good one to say. Now I have to ignite or activate my self-control.
Do you think that there's a specific emotion or desire that people struggle with more than others when it comes to self-control, whether it's anger, greed, guilt? What do you think is like the number one?
Way more than one. I mean, not the number one or nowhere close. Because even when it comes to women, you got to have self-control. When I say single men out there, young man like you, single and all, you got to have self-control. You see somebody you like, you got to know how far to go. That's considered self-control. Mm-hmm. Your desires, not only when it comes to a woman, it could be other desires that's not Christ-like. You got to have self-control. Your wants, you got to have self-control. All these things, you got to have self-control. Because if you don't, you might end up regretting some actions you've made or places you went. Even thoughts in your mind could grow if you don't get it under self-control. So that's how I look at self-control. There's a lot of ways you can ignite or use your self-control to help you navigate this Christian walk. So there's a lot of different ways you're going to have to use your self-control.
I think in my experience, if I had to say, like, what's the number one thing, maybe I would do top three. I think number one is lust.
Okay.
Number two would probably be greed, or I'll say greed.
Okay.
And then number three would probably be I guess detachment. And when I say detachment, I mean like wanting to isolate myself from people.
Okay.
Because I'm more of an introverted person, so it's really easy for me to like not talk to people and like I don't want to deal with you right now. But like the self-control when it comes to that, I'll talk about the detachment stuff, the isolation stuff, because the self-control with me is more so like I have to be present for people. Like if someone, like for example, one of my friends, they might come to me with a issue or whatever, and the initial person in me is like, I got my own stuff going on. I don't want to deal with your stuff right now. But then it's like I gotta control myself in that moment and say, okay. I gotta be there for you emotionally, spiritually as a friend. And I feel like that's something that I struggle with. But I think a lot of things, like a lot of men today, they struggle with lust and greed. It's like with back to the women thing, and then with wanting more. They want more money, more possessions. So I think those like the top three as far as like having self-control and stuff.
Right. Right.
Do you think that if someone, as a Christian who's struggling with self-control, how would you guide them along the path of being more self-controlled?
First of all, prayer about the situation. If it's something that's ongoing, in other words, like pray about it. Because some things are just instantaneous. You got to just have self-control at that moment. But if something ongoing, or even at that moment, you can pray as well. Just ask the Lord to help you, in your self-control. Especially if you if you're not good at it or you have a problem with it. And other than that, it's got to be a practice. It's like they always talk about doctors. They never really get medicine. They practice medicine. They always in practice. So that's how we got to be as Christians. Always in practice on things to help us be better. And I would just end it with going to the Lord with it. And I had jotted down a couple scriptures on here that would be able to help us with, like, temptation and different things of that nature, and personal relationships when you're dealing with people. So I jotted a couple of them down. And the importance of self-control, how important it is, because a lot of times people watching you, and if you get out of control, that's all they need to like say, oh, I thought you was a Christian.
Right.
Why you act that way? So I jotted down a couple scriptures. I just want to just go over one right here, 2 Timothy Said 1, 5, and 6. Go back. 2 Timothy 1, 5, and 6. I'm sorry, I didn't say Timothy. I said Timothy, didn't I? I meant to say Peter.
Okay,
2 Peter 1, 5, and 6. It says, for this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness love. So just add that to your repertoire as a Christian.
Yeah.
These bullet points that Peter talked about, and self-control being one of them. We just got to keep focused with that. Just keep focused with that, and knowing that's the right thing to do. And the Lord, one thing about the Lord, when you get in that situation, He will prompt you. The Holy Spirit will speak to you at that moment, and get you the right thing to do. You know, he'll jump right in there, man. And when you know you ain't ready to do right,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's what you can count on. That's what I love. That's one thing about being a Christian, boy. The Lord be right there, boy. You ready to say something crazy? He be like, oh, in His own way, the Holy Spirit speaks to your heart.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's what I would say. That's what I would tell people to read that scripture. That's one of the things I would say. 2 Peter 1, 5, and 6.
I have a scripture myself.
Okay.
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28.
25, 28.
Yeah. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls.
Mm.
And I wanted to touch on that because I think a part of self-control is having boundaries, just like how the proverb says, you're like a city broken into.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to keep going back to the example, but back to the women thing. Knowing how far to take it or how far not to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have boundaries set up, if you don't have boundaries set in place, then self-control goes out the window.
Right.
And you are liable to do anything, say anything. And that even goes as far as like if someone makes you angry or if certain things get under your skin or whatever, like understanding, okay, maybe I need to excuse myself from this situation, or maybe having like a, I don't know how to describe it, like I guess you could say a conversation with the Holy Spirit, like in that moment, like, all right, God, what can I do right now that won't have me crash out? You know?
That's what you do. That's what you do.
But
That's what you do.
I think about that verse a lot because I don't think we talk about boundaries enough when we talk about self-control. It's always just, control how you feel, control your desires. But like, what boundaries can you put in place to prevent that from happening?
Yeah, because in reality, you really can't control yourself. You know, to a certain degree you can, but in reality, not the way Christ can control you and help you control yourself and prevent regrettable moments.
Yeah,
that's what you want. You want to prevent regrettable moments, and you want Him to shine. You want Him to come out of you in that situation, because, like I said earlier, people are gonna be watching that you never even know, or even hearing it. They might not see. They could be in another aisle of the supermarket and hear it, not even see you, but just that being done is a witness, and that's what the devil wanted. He want to kill your witness. He can't take Christ from you. He can't take your salvation. So what he'll do, he'll try to kill your witness to make you look bad, so people that deny Christ or don't want to be Christ-like or Christian, because they be like, oh, they all the same. They all do this and that. See how he acted or how she acted, stuff like that. They really quick to criticize. So we always got to be careful in our walk like that.
Mm-hmm.
The self-control, man, is very, very important in the Christian walk.
When you the boundaries thing,
Mm-hmm.
like I think about like people in your life. You got friends, you got family, you got coworkers, you got different people that have like different
Roles.
roles in your life.
Mm-hmm.
What would be like one boundary you would set from like a friend and like a family member, whereas like the friend doesn't cross this line and the family doesn't cross that line? Or do you think there is one? Like, is there something that you can think of off the top of your head?
A boundary.
Because I'll give one, for example.
I'm gonna say this. That I won't let them go. My boundary would be I won't let them go too far as the way I'm being treated,
Okay.
the way I'm spoken to,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. I would say, right off the top of my head, would be a boundary for me, and vice versa. I wouldn't do same way I'm expecting from them.
Mm-hmm.
I would be expecting to do the same for them.
I got you. Yeah. I guess I was more so thinking like conversations. Okay, for example, if you have a friend and actually I'm going to put it in the context of marriage. All right.
Okay.
I'm not married yet, you guys, but I can only assume that there are conversations that you and mom have that you wouldn't have with like a female coworker.
Oh no.
So like that's like a boundary
Okay.
that I would be talking about. Like if
Okay,
you
I
cross
got you.
that boundary, that female coworker that you're with, not anything goes, but I'm saying like you're crossing those boundaries and self-control can get a little,
Mm-hmm.
it's like on a slippery slope at that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other examples, but that's the one that came off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, that's losing your self-control too, in a sense.
Yeah. All right, so let's segue into responsibility.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first. Tell me what your
Okay.
definition of responsibility is.
I would like to start out with the root word, right? Being responsible. Being responsible, being counted on.
Mm.
Being a man of integrity, a man of his word. When I think of responsibility, like I said, being responsible, and responsibility is just kind of, sometimes it's tough being responsible though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you the definition for responsibility. Responsibility is a state or a fact of being accountable for something or someone. So it's about accountability as well.
Okay.
I'm using an example as being a father.
Mm-hmm.
That's my responsibility. And that's going to always be my responsibility, no matter how old my boys and my Tia gets.
Yeah.
I always feel I'm responsible for y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and being there for y'all. I'm responsible as a husband. I'm responsible as a Christian. And what comes with that is a whole lot. I could break down some different subject matters as far as faith, for instance, as a father. Being able to provide for the family, that's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Being there socially with you guys, something that y'all want to talk about or you're going through that I can help you get through. Coming up to the school when y'all have functions, time spending. These are all responsibilities. And then on the flip side, I always haven't been responsible. You know, things I could have done, I didn't do. And then sometimes things are where it's like a, I'm trying to think of the terminology, but it has a shelf life to it.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you don't do it now, this is the time gonna get by you. You can't do it later. You know, missed opportunities for responsibilities. You know, example, y'all growing up. 1 year old, 5 years old, 9 years old, 13 years old, 19 years old. I can't go back to when you was 13 when you're 19.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that shelf life is over. It's just, I need to be there at the 13 and the 19.
Yeah.
And to be transparent, I just hope didn't fall too short with you guys, eh?
Nah, you
definitely did it. That's just something you always think about because you never see, a lot of times, even with being responsible, sometimes you really think you're on point. And you could be missing the mark and you won't see it in your own eyes.
Yeah.
It's like somebody from the outside looking in. You can't look out and in at the same time. And you don't know that viewpoint from it, that vantage point from the whole situation. Because let's be real, we always being watched. You looking at dad, it's like, yeah, dad said one thing, but like he doing another. And I'm thinking I'm getting away with something. I'm thinking you don't notice it. I'm thinking you don't notice that I'm doing such and such over here, or such and such over there. Well, most of the time it could be good or bad.
Right.
Appreciated, unappreciated. That's part of responsibility. So do the best you can and ask Christ to lead you and guide you in that marriage because God knows we're going to fall short a lot of times. But I know I said a whole lot on that. I didn't mean to be too long-winded on that, but responsibility, it means a lot to me. I got to be responsible for my employment, church, other people, time, health. I got to be responsible for a lot of things.
Yeah. You when did you start thinking about responsibility as more of a lifestyle thing? Like when you started becoming more responsible, was it like at a certain age or was it just like you started having more things on your plate that made you start?
I'm going to tell you what I could say. I think I'm going to say this. But I think I was responsible before this. But this I think was like the right on point for me. When Perrin was born. It changed my whole life. It was like, now I got to be more responsible. And during that time, I wasn't saved anything. And it was like, I got a son now. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's what I really, if I had to put, I know I might have been before that. I always took care of myself and I always had things and a place to stay and a job and all them things. But when he came, it just changed everything. It was like, I got to be more responsible now. Now, I don't know if that's when I realized was responsible, my first reality of it. Yeah. I don't know. But I would use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to the father role, because I know people, they go back and forth with this on social media.
Okay.
They got the whole 50-50 thing with a man and a woman, husband and wife. You got women out here that wants the man to be the sole provider XYZ. And then you got men that are like, well, women are getting higher paying jobs now and women are in the workforce more. So they should put out some money and help cover some of the bills. Where do you stand on that? I know you just mentioned about feeling the responsibility of being the provider, but where do you see yourself on that topic?
To me, with that, it's how it. To me, it's how it flow.
Okay.
Okay. When I say that, I mean women want to be able to have their part too. It all depends on the relationship. You know, because when you'll tell a woman, "I'll pick care of everything," they be like, "No, I want to contribute. I wanted this, I wanted that." You know, and then it all depends on your money. I mean, what you dealing with. If it's going, if she can contribute for y'all to do better, why so be it.
Yeah.
If y'all can't make, if say you're not making as much money, you can't really grow. It don't really make sense to me if y'all want to grow and do things, her not to help.
Yeah.
Or be a regular contributor. I don't see nothing wrong with that because she want to do better too. And then, like the Lord say, she's our helpmeet. So she's going to help me, and not only just help me, overall help. So that I wouldn't knock nobody with the 50-50.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Because if that's how they flow, that's how they flow. That's how they can get it done, that's how they get it done. I ain't got a problem with it at all. And I ain't got a problem with the man do it all himself. I don't have a problem with that. Neither one. Any way that floats their boat to me is okay. And I don't think the Lord minds that. And I don't think he makes that a big deal. It's just how you gel. Yeah.
Because you got some, I'm looking up the verse now.
Okay.
You got some holier than thou people that.
Oh, Lord. You said that, didn't you?
You got
You
some
said
people.
that,
You got some people that go right to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives and especially for their own household has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Now,
I've seen that scripture.
Now, I might need to look at the context some more, but people will bring that verse up, and it's like, man, if you're not, as a man, if you're not providing, you're slacking, you know?
I got you. But you are providing. In a sense, even if your wife is helping, it ain't like you ain't doing anything. You know, and she doing it all.
Yeah.
That sounds like a verse like you ain't doing nothing. You worse than an infidel. Some of the scripture says.
Yeah.
If you ain't doing nothing, you are. Because it's gonna be women that make more money than men. I don't take that scripture like I take that scripture much bigger and wider than finances. Because you just got guys that just bums.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing. I mean, when I say that, I mean don't do financing, don't do nothing fixing around the house, won't like run to the store for you if you need them to do. That's what I mean, stuff like that. That's what I'm looking at that scripture as far as that.
Okay.
Because there's going to be times you may not be able to contribute. You may lose your job. But all of a sudden you're a bum now, or you're not a provider. You're going through a situation. You know, that happens sometimes. So she may have to step in and say, hey, baby, we got it.
Yeah.
I got you now until the next couple of months till you get back on, and vice versa. You always want to, the man always want to be the provider. But at the same time, sometimes life hits you and the finances ain't there. And you just thank the Lord. And that's why the Lord know that we need a helper. Because we're going to need help sometime. And we may need help sometime even in financing. Oh, we already need help all over. And we all know, guys, we need help. If it ain't finance, it's a whole lot of other areas. We could agree upon that one. I ain't got to go there with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's finessing it, man. It's just making it work.
Yeah.
and giving God the glory and thank God for all the, ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, I
never let
gotcha.
nobody like the scripture talks about young people. Don't never let nobody think they ain't got no input, or don't pay attention to young people. Stuff. Don't pay attention to people that's so like everything is in the same box.
Mm.
You gotta think out of the box. Everybody got this thing boxed in. I don't think too much is too much. It's just boxed in
Yeah.
because everybody's situation is different.
Well, there's a lot right there. The first thing I want to touch on before I forget is the provision, not just financial. I think a lot of people, they think about provision in sense of finances,
Oh yeah,
which is like the number
most
one
people.
thing. But then you also got like emotional, and then you got spiritual provision. And so like kind of expound on that side of responsibility as a father, like being the emotional stronghold or being the spiritual leader in the household. Or do you view yourself like that? Do you view yourself as the spiritual leader of the house?
Yeah, I view myself as that.
Okay.
And I just think the Lord, like I said, real quick story. I was born again November the 1st, 1996. Parent was born in 94. So I wasn't saved when parent was born. But I knew that I had responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And once the Lord came into my heart, I knew then I had to teach my kids. Show them the way. Have Bible studies with them and how we used to sit down and go over what was it, the 12 ordinary men class, and we did some things, a lot of things with that, and had our Sunday Bible studies and stuff like that. And I always wanted to I was always led to do that. So that's why I believe that foundation brought you to who you are today. As far as loving the Lord and knowing the Lord and reverencing the Lord, and so that side was always, that's the spiritual side of it.
Mm-hmm.
You said social or some other side.
Yeah, emotional.
Yeah,
Emotional
like
side of things.
being there when when you got hurt or whatever, or when a situation like incidents might have happened on as you rate coming up, getting your little jobs and stuff like that. Being there to be able to mentor you through how the world works, even through school, high school, elementary school, going to little concerts y'all had, and then our family vacations that we would go on, we would all kind of bond. Because I got to thank the Lord for that too, because we always bonded, man, as a family. We always went on trips and stuff like that. And we be five large, boy. we be hitting it, man. But, but yeah, so those things, I loved every minute of it, you know. And that kind of binding and just having fun. Real sidebar quick. We went at that time with Ocean City. I'll never forget. I think that was one of the best times. I was like number 1 or 2. And we was in the Atlantic Ocean in Ocean City.
And the waves were hitting us?
Oh my God, man, I had the most fun, man. Look, I had the most fun in the world with y'all, man. I was like, this is it. But anyway, I just had to say that. But those things, man, we had so much fun over the years, man. Mm-hmm. And Mom, she was right there supporting us and stuff like that, being there and dealing with me, And I never forget that time we went camping we went to RVing. And, I was just talking about the other day, and Mom got sick. Remember Mom got sick, and then we went to that music park. She got sick. It was real hot. She was going through a therapy thing. And I just thank the Lord that we got through that and stuff like that. So we've been through ups and downs, we've been social, through a lot. And spiritual and financial and there's a whole nine. And we still hanging.
Yeah.
then we still doing it. Even now as we talking.
Right, right.
But I can keep going. I'm gonna let you have some speak there.
Yeah, I guess I had one more question.
Okay.
Just when it comes to responsibility, what are some ways that you had to fall back on other things? Like as a father, you can't do the things you used to do when you were single. So like what were some things that you had to pull back on when you became a dad?
Oh yeah, I think we all have to go through that, because now it ain't about you no more.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you sing, it's like you can kind of run and do a gun and run, or just do things that you wouldn't normally do if you had a family. So I just knew I had one of the things I knew I had to do. I definitely had to work and bring money home and save, so we could do things as family. And my whole mindset was family. That's one thing that changed. My whole mindset was just family. It wasn't like me, and it wasn't like me and mom. It was like us.
Yeah.
You know. So when that happened, it changed everything. Like far as like my everyday goings. Once my mind was on that, not on that, it was that. That was what it was. It wasn't like on it. It was it. You know what I mean? And that to me makes a difference. Your mind can be on something, but who you are. And that's who I became. I became just a family man. It's like my mind is like, when I think of the house, I think of us. Yeah. So with that being said, it changed everything I did. So I think that's the blanket of it. I mean, I can go into individual things that changed me, but the mindset was changed. And I think that's more important than anything else, because everything else kind of, I didn't make, once I got there, I didn't make nothing else like personal.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of didn't.
It was always about
Yeah, it was just it was a mind made up thing. It was just like this. So it was like them other things didn't. I mean, if they crossed my mind, they poof like that. It wasn't like, I'm trying to maneuver. It was just like, no, that's ain't who I am no more.
Yeah.
So yeah. That changed me a lot with that. Being responsible with my family and stuff like that. And I loved it, man. I still do.
Yeah.
I don't have no regrets about it. None at all. Sometimes I wish I could just go back and do it all over again.
Do you think having that mindset though, I don't want to call it a bad thing. I want to call it like an Achilles heel.
Okay.
Because you obviously want to be family oriented, but I think sometimes you become so family oriented, you might forget about yourself. So it's like, like as us, we're getting older and we're not in the house anymore. Now it's like, what am I going to do now? I just spent the past 20 plus years kind of raising y'all. Now I got to find myself again. Do you ever feel like that? Or I know you say you won't regret it, but do you ever think about that?
To a certain degree, but nothing that's negatively about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, look, y'all done moved out everything and all. It's like hanging with baby girl now. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, I'm gonna be hanging that, and it's like that kind of thing, and never miss the beat kind of thing, And now the situation with your grandmama, she back home with us and all, and that changed some things around. Now I gotta be responsible now for her.
Yeah.
So, but nah. But I always miss y'all with that. I mean, that's just a given, but
yeah.
But no, because look, it don't take much to please me anyway. So and I don't do a whole lot no way. I'm kind of like you were saying earlier, introvert. You don't need to be around a lot of people. So.
Right.
So when y'all rolled out, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I get a chance to do this. No, it wasn't even nowhere close. Now I did do some things. Went and got my bike, start going to the gun range and things of that nature, things that I wanted to do, but it wasn't nothing that I couldn't still do.
Right.
But now I got a little more time. I'm able to, then being retired and all, and just got a part-time job. So I'm able to do it more, because the availability is much more wider than it was earlier. But I wasn't hindered when I couldn't do it. So, yeah.
Do you think... I feel like I'm answering my own question, but I got to ask, how do you feel about the man who is providing everything financially, but isn't spending time with his kids because... Well, actually, both sides.
Okay.
One side, you got the man who provides everything for his kids, but he doesn't spend time with them. I mean, not because he doesn't have the time to. He just chooses not to spend time with them. And then you got the man who... he works so much he can't spend time with them because the job pulls him away from the concerts, from the outings.
Excuse me, now, tell me that first one again.
You got the man who chooses not to spend time with his kids.
Okay.
He doesn't want to deal with them. He's like, as long as I bring the money home, you're good.
Okay, I got you.
Then you got the man who wants to spend time with his kids, but he physically can't because he works so much. How do you feel about both men in that specific scenario? How would you I guess judge them as to make it matter of fact? Like, how would you view them?
I would just... they both seem to be opposite, so I would just want each one of them to do a little bit of the other one ain't doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make it a happy medium.
Is the first one a bum because he doesn't want to spend time with his kids? Because you did use the word bum earlier.
Yeah. I don't see how he can't not want to spend time with his kids, though. But there's guys like that. I can't even relate to that too much.
Yeah.
Because they can't imagine it.
Yeah.
And we don't know, and then on top of that, sometimes we don't know situations. I say that because sometimes women do that.
Oh, yeah.
Women will keep you away when you want to be there, but the world outside looking in, they see you never there, now they say you a never there guy.
Right.
Not knowing you really want to be there, but she not allowing you to. So that could be a situation too. Because I can't really see me. Now, not saying it ain't reality, but I can't really see that you having children and you'll never want to be with them.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't even comprehend that too well. Even though there's people that does that, and most of the time, it's because they so busy doing what they want to do, and they selfish. That would be, and I would say to a person like that, don't be selfish like that.
Yeah.
Because when a kid come in the world, it ain't about you no more. Yourself is gone. Now it's like you got responsibility back to the world we talking about. Your life is really gone.
Yeah.
Like I said, when Perm came in the world, I was like, man, I got responsibilities now. I mean, from day one. When Tia called and said, Mama having a baby, I stopped right there. I'd never forget. I was sitting in the kitchen with a friend of mine. And I said, bruh, I got to go. But so we went on down, and the rest was history, man. Watch Perm come into the world like I did with y'all. And, no, but the other flip side, the one that's working.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Right.
That's a tough one because he got to work. But I think it's like you got to prioritize. We already know he's responsible financially. We already know that he want to take care of his family. So now it's time to say, you know something, I need to, okay, for example, like my dad. He worked a lot. Okay. And his situation was when he went to work, we were going to bed. No, let me say it this way. He worked like when we would get up in the morning, go to school, he would be asleep.
Okay.
And then when we come home from school, he would just be going to work. So he worked like 3 to 11. So when we come in, Mom, she would have like little munchies or sandwich, something like that. Come on, guys, get you to do your homework. And Dad was at work. So by the time he got home, we was in the bed.
Right.
Because 11, 12 o'clock, we was asleep before to go to school. So we didn't see him there, but we peek in the bedroom like that. He in there snoring. And you ain't trying to wake Dad up. So through the week, he wasn't spending no time too much. But the weekends, it was on.
Right.
And we really could. That went on for years like that. But we had vacations. That's why I love. We all did our vacations and stuff. I got that from him.
Yeah.
But a person would say he not spending time. But that's just the way the situation was. When he had the time to spend, he did it. But you gotta have a happy. It's gotta be some time. You gotta be able to fit some time in. Even you working. But bro, you gotta fit some time in. Even if it ain't but one day a week or the weekend or whatever. Don't let months and half a year go by a year and you ain't even spent no time. And I mean, time could be driving you to school.
Yeah. Right.
Talking to you on the way to school, picking you up from school. That's time. So it ain't gotta be like, yeah, we gotta be doing some more time. It could be like we just hanging out, we're going somewhere together, or I might be taking you to the store shopping, or we might go out and get something to eat, or that's time.
Yeah.
Like they always talk about quality time. You gotta fit that in, because that's the only way you're gonna get socially. Be able to socialize and get to know anybody, even your own kids. Some people don't know their own kids because they don't socialize with them enough.
Right.
But I go on and on about that. But the whole thing in a nutshell is find some time. If you're that type of guy that has to work a lot, try to find some time. If you're a guy that don't want to spend time, period, I think there's something is wrong with that.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with that. And hopefully, if the woman doing it, don't do that.
So, we talk about responsibility. I don't think I ever gave my definition for responsibility, but I kind of agree with what you were saying. Just having things that you're taking care of, things that are given to you that you have to take care of, whether it's tasks that you got to do at work, whether it's
something that you're accountable.
Right, something you're accountable for. Good. I think that responsibility and trust kind of go hand in hand, because if you show that you're responsible for things, whoever you're with, whether that's your boss, whether it's your spouse or whatever, you're showing to them that you're trustworthy when you're being responsible. So what do you think trust is? Like, what would be your definition?
Reliable. Trust is a tough word, though.
Yeah. I feel like it's so many different.
Somebody you can count on,
Yeah.
Trust is heavy, man. Because it's so hard to do. Because when you sit back and think about it, you'd be like, let me look at my hand, see if I can use all fingers or one finger, 2, 3, whatever, on how many people I can trust. When I ain't talking about like, even when it comes to family members, sometimes you can't trust them. Somebody that I can count on, and somebody that I can believe that can keep personal things to themselves.
Yeah.
That if you share it, that everybody in the world won't know. Or even the next so-called friend of theirs won't know. When you share in personal things. because the Bible say trust in the Lord, number one.
Right.
We can definitely trust in Him. Proverbs 3:5-6. We can definitely trust in Him. Trust that He ain't gonna lie, He ain't gonna squeal, He ain't gonna do all that stuff people will do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, we're gonna trust in Him. I'm gonna trust in Him. But He also put people in place that you should be able to trust, but not like you trust Him.
Yeah.
He can put people in places you can trust and depend on, but not as much as you're going to trust Him. And a lot of times, it won't be with one person. You know.
Yeah.
If you got two, you're doing good. You know. And when I say that, I'm talking about like so-called friends. I ain't talking about like family. Because a lot of times, you can trust more than one family member.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about people outside of your intimate family. So, I mean, you really and trust takes time. You can't trust somebody. I don't know you a year. I don't trust you yet.
Right.
I don't know you. And then the trust to me is like, what have we shared together? Mm-hmm. What have we been through together? What incidents came about where I had to trust you? That shows me like when I can say I trust you.
Okay. I do think that I know what I was gonna say. So it's a weird line, and it's a line you have to like walk carefully, because the Bible does mention, I think it's in Psalms, it's better to trust in the Lord or take refuge in the Lord than to put trust in man. Mm-hmm. But then there's also Bible passages that talks about like sharing your load with others, and like sharing your struggles with others. So there's a level of trusting in a friend to the point where you share each other's struggles. And then there's that line of trusting in the Lord. But like you said, like I said, it's tough because what have we went through? What have we talked about? What have we experienced together? So I can be able to trust you. How do you think? Is there like you can't put a number on it. Like, I could be cool with you for like 5 years, but we never went through anything. Then I really don't know if I can trust you. But how would you like gauge whether someone's trustworthy or not? Is it just the stuff that you went through together? You kind of said
that would be
earlier.
a high percentage of it.
Okay.
Another percentage of it would be how they deal with other people. Are they a trustworthy person to other people? Are they a truthful person? Or, you catching them always telling a lie about this or a lie about that. Because if a person is trustworthy to me, his character is trustworthy. Meaning, I shouldn't be the only one that can trust you.
Right. Yeah, I got it.
you see what I'm saying? It'd be like, you only one can trust. No, it should be like other people should be able to trust you too.
Yeah.
So that would determine to me is other people outlook, your character, your walk. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna say this. You can a person trustworthy, you can even get in a confrontation with them. And y'all agree to disagree or whatever you want to call it. And y'all might disagree with each other about something and may even be mad at each other once in a while.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't hinder it though. Because that's what happened with friends. Sometimes, man, when you're too friendly and friends forever ain't went through nothing, you know, I don't know if he's my friend or not like that. Because it's like relationships, you know. That we're going to talk about that as well. That we talked about that as well before. They up and down sometimes. Now, do that determine that I can trust you or not? Not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, we went through this, we went through that, whatever. I don't trust them no more. That ain't always the case. It's like I disagreed about something. Because I always go back to this. It may sound crazy, but I always say, you talk about two sinners coming together. Two buddies that's both sinners.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now we saints in Christ, but I'm talking about, you know, because I look at one of the scriptures, and let's go to Ecclesiastes 4. Let me see what we got there, man. Ecclesiastes 4. There we go. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. 4, 9, and 10. It says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their work. If the one falls down, his friend can help him up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up.
Mm.
I say that because that one helping you up, you gotta trust him.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of times the Lord allows the scripture talks about like a rope intertwined.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think
that
that's
is
Ecclesiastes
stronger.
too.
Yeah, it's stronger with both elements together, entwined together.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, hey, we got a rope here, meaning we got to depend on the strength of it. We got to depend on, is it going to hold us? Is it going to break? All these kind of things. So that means we got to trust each other. These two intertwiners got to be trustworthy with each other.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe that the Lord do put people in your lives that you have to trust, or he wants you to trust, and as well, them trusting you. You have to be trustworthy as well. It ain't got to be, you can't be who you want to be, or don't be trustworthy, expect them to be trustworthy. You automatically want to be trustworthy to them before you even accepting them being to you.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad you said that, because you got people, and I think this is just a problem we have in general. Mm-hmm. It can be either Christian or non-Christian. People are just so quick to cut somebody off.
Right,
like, we got into a disagreement.
Right.
I'm not dealing with you anymore.
Right,
and
right.
It's really crazy how that works, because I think about the episode we had last week or the week before last week about how you're going to go through struggle and you're going to go through stuff, and that's part of life. And I'd rather have someone that I can struggle with, whether that's a friend, family member, or whatever. I'd rather have someone I can struggle with than struggle alone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
and
right,
try
right,
to
right.
be all bitter all by myself because I
Right.
don't like how you said something to me.
Right.
So how do you remedy that, or what's the solution, would you say?
I would
that?
say on that, like I said, friends go argue sometimes. They're going to disagree sometimes. But come to where you are. Okay, you insulted me. You said something I didn't like. Bro, you rubbed me the wrong way. Bring that to the light. Give them opportunity to explain.
Yep.
And then when they explain, you say, "Oh, okay, I see where you at," or I don't see where you at, but now I know where you're coming from."
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make a determination, and you can say, "Okay, even though you told me where you was coming from, you still weren't right, or you were right." And then we can kind of squash the situation,
Yeah,
and start all over again. That's what friends do. ain't always hunky-dory with friends. It could be like, he did me like that. But I want, and then you kind of be surprised because when you find out they did something contrary,
Yeah.
it's just like, you got to know why.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we were cool, bruh. What happened? Why you do that to me? You need to know that. And he need to tell you that. And then you'll learn who he is more, and he'll learn who you are more, or vice versa. And that right there is growth. That's relationship growth to me. Because I believe that need to happen to learn about this person's character, personality, the whole nine.
Right.
So instead of, if that's somebody you really like bonded with, you just can't say, man, I ain't messing with them no more. You really can't go there. Because y'all been through too much for it to drop that easy. Now, let me say this. On the flip side, as somebody over the years continually doing stuff, you're like, man, he done it again. I'm just tired of him using and abusing me. Or always trying to mistreat me. Or every time I ask him, he never can help me. Or what? Over time, then you got a question. Is this really a friend of mine?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But somebody that's been there for you, stuff like that, through thick times where you see you in a hailstorm somewhere and you laid out somewhere and you ain't got no way home. They get up 3 o'clock in the morning to come get you. You know, stuff that's out of the ordinary that people just won't, they be like, I ain't even answer the phone. Some people won't answer the phone. They be like, oh, that's him. He wants something. But true friends will get up through hell, high water to help you like that. So that's, you learn them things, but you got to go through to learn it, though.
Yeah.
Don't think, you got a friend or two. Don't think because y'all arguing stuff that y'all ain't friends anymore, and then just clear the air with find out what the deal is. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Conversations are really important, and that's hard for some people.
Right, it is. It is.
I'm some people.
Oh, you the one hard way? I got you.
I'm one of those people. I don't cut you off immediately, but like if I know something happens and then I'm not putting his business out here. But like if I have a conversation, I notice a shift, I'll still keep in contact. I'm like, I'm checking up on you, whatever. But if I notice after a while, if I'm checking up on you and you're not like responding, or if you're not answering my calls, it's like, oh, well, I know where we stand now.
Oh, I got
and
you.
I don't really have that conversation then, because it's like, here I am trying to reach out, and you're not trying to reach back out to me. So
I got you.
I feel like it's not even worth me even having that conversation at that point. But that's where I'd be. That's where I'd be.
I got you, and that's I got you. But at the same time, they're not doing it in your time span. Like, okay, I called him 3-4 times, he ain't coming back. But the day that he calls you back, it may be way past the time. Say you called him 2-3 times within like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then the 4th or 5th week he call you, say, hey, John, you would respond. It would be like, yeah, man, then we got to talk. It'd be like, we got, as far as like, when I say we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
We had to do that at that point. Because now that I got him on the phone, we on the phone, or whatever, or I run across whatever, we got to talk about the elephant in the room because we've been through too much.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then that can determine if you continue to go on, or if not continue to go on. That could be the determining point right at that point. It may not be, but it most likely will be. Because we know the elephant ain't got to say what it is. I can look at you and say we both know what's going on.
Right. But yeah.
That's how you deal with that. Yeah, don't be where when he ain't got back with you in your time span, and then when he did call you back, you don't answer. Oh, he ain't calling me out. I ain't fooling him. Don't give him an opportunity, because you never know. People grieve different. People take little short take. People could grieve a half hour. Some people get take them 10 years. And when your time span 3 weeks, it might be 6 months for him. Mm. And you think he forgot all about you, but the whole time he's thinking about you. So then when y'all see each other, y'all both know you're going to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give people sometime a little bit like that, because you never know where they're at. You know where you at. You know how much you can stand.
Yeah.
But you don't know how much they can stand or where they at. And then at the elephant in the room time, they'll explain it.
All right. So with commitment, it kind of goes back to the whole. It's two. I guess two parts to play when it comes to commitment, in my view, because you got the one hand of like going through stuff, and I want to use the term long suffering. Like you're going through highs and lows with this one friend or your one partner, but then on the other hand, you are making like that active choice to stick with it, because like we just said, you got people who go through one little thing and they break it off. So it's kind of like both hands. You want to go through the thick and thin, but you also got to make the choice to stay there through it all. So that's where I think commitment is, or that's the definition for commitment. But how do you view commitment?
I'm gonna say loyalty. I'm gonna say, I don't know, being dedicated. Like, not let nothing deviate you. When you committed to something, you giving it your all. You giving it your dedication, all. But at the same time, you're looking for an outcome, though. You're not just doing it to be doing it. There's a means to an end, in other words.
Okay.
I would say like marriage. You committed. That's the bottom line. Through hell or high water. Through thick and thin. And married people know the thick and thin, man. Let's keep it real. The ups and downs. But as a Christian man and a Christian woman, you gotta be committed. Because there'll be times you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk to her, and she don't want to talk to you. Let's just keep it real. You know. But at the end of the day, and it goes back to what we just talked about, let's talk about it, get that elephant in the room cleared up, but we can start all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's commitment. And then not only that, it's like, I think you had said something earlier, but I can't think of something you had mentioned before we start this session. But not putting your business all out there.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, you committed to somebody, you don't be telling people their business. They shouldn't be telling people yours. This commitment is just like loyalty, man. I don't know. I'm running out of words with it right now. It's a heart thing.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm gonna let you expound a little bit.
So I think, well, one, I do think commitment is in so many different facets, because I guess loyalty is one way, because I think about people who are committed to a job. You got people who are committed to a person. You got people who are committed to like a hobby that they're interested in. Or even if you're committed to a goal of yours, you want to lose weight, you want to do this. So loyalty plays a part, but I think a more a more similar word would be dedication. Like you're dedicated to getting something done. Yeah,
And not being deterred.
yeah.
Not being what they call when I want to say sideline, but off track. But I still say in commitment, you going after something. You're just not in it. You're looking for something out of it. Let me say that. That's how I see it. I ain't just doing it to do it. I'm committed to this for some type of outcome.
Okay. Do you think that's where people mess up at? They don't have an outcome to stuff. I mentioned that because you talk about marriage, and I think about people who get married 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
Wow.
And it's like, do you have a goal or do you have something that you're looking forward to? Or are you just getting married just to get married? You know, they be treating marriage like it's a.
But I
like
don't
it's
think they're
dating.
committed. Because if
Right.
you was committed, you wouldn't be married that many times.
I guess what I'm asking is like if they. Well, first question is, do you think commitment requires a goal? You think it requires
think
something
it
to look forward
does.
to? Okay.
I think it does. I don't know. I think it's about. I think a lot of things is a goal in mind.
Yeah.
Life is a goal in mind. I mean, let's be real. Because to me, if you're not committed to something, and I don't think you could be committed without the goal. And if you're not committed, you're just willy nilly. That's just to me. You just floating around, like the Bible said. Don't be tossed to and fro, because you're laying over here today and laying over there tomorrow. To me, a lack of commitment does that. You're all over the place until you like targeted and say, "Coach, this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be the outcome I'm looking for." That's commitment to me.
I think that also gives you a sense of purpose
It does.
because you know
It does.
what you're
It do give
looking
you a
to.
yup.
Yeah.
It do. That's how I look at that. And, I mean, it might not come out at your goals. Your goal. It might not be. It might not even your goal. You might not even achieve it. It could be a. It could be a. Like the Bible also talks about. I think it's in Hebrews when it talks about the Christian men back then was committed, but never seen the full promise of God in their lifespan. So you may never see what you're committed to. You may not even see it on this earth. You may see it in the afterlife. In heaven, you'll see the commitment that you've made there than you see here. So don't always think because you committed to something that you're gonna see the end of it. You know, the outcome or whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
so it's almost like I talk about to you all the time about the journey. It ain't trying to get from A to B. It's a journey from A to B.
Yeah.
What are you getting out of the journey? One of the things you're getting out of the journey, you committed to the journey. But you're still looking to get to B though, so that's your goal. You know, you may go way over here. You might not do a straight line because they said the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. You might go way over here, back over. You might go here and then go do like this, then back over here and get back in a straight line.
Yeah.
But you still committed and you still looking for B.
What are some qualities that you learn as you're committed to something? Give me
that's a
three.
good one.
Yeah, give me three qualities.
Yeah. You try to hit me good. Oh, okay. Honesty.
Okay. Because you gotta be honest about where you're at.
Yeah, you got to be honest about, am I committed to this? Is this what I want to do?
Right.
You got to be honest with yourself. Okay. You say qualities. Is that what you said, right?
Qualities or character traits. Either one.
Goal driven.
Mm.
And I'm gonna go back to journey. Is this the road that I want to take?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to, I guess, decision making too.
Yeah.
Because if I say I'm gonna commit myself to something, I gotta decide: do I want to do this? Mm-hmm. And I gotta be honest with myself and say, yeah, I do. But I might even say, but.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I gotta be honest with myself, because if I'm not honest with myself, I ain't doing but fooling myself, and I'm wasting time.
Yeah. So
the journey is like that focuses me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm on this road. I committed myself. I gotta stick with it. So what would I say? Honesty,
goal driven,
and
then decision making, or being able to make a decision.
Journey and decision making.
Yeah. I don't find commitment funny, but I guess it's interesting. It's interesting to think about commitment, because when you're committed to something, you don't know whether it's going to work out or not.
Right.
So it goes back to trusting in the Lord.
No doubt.
And kind of taking that journey, because you don't know where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I even think about marriage. I mean, I think it's sad when people get divorced, but I think it even happens in like Christian marriages, because, well, I don't know why. There's probably a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know outside looking in. But I just find it sad that people get divorced, but it kind of goes back to like you being committed, but you don't know where that might lead. It might lead to divorce. It might not. Right. You're kind of just taking a chance, but that goes back to trusting in the Lord.
Yeah, you said a lot right there, because a lot of time, excuse me, you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to relationships, commitment, you could be committed and they may not be.
Mm.
And that's something that you can't do. You can't help. You don't have to, put it this way, you don't have no control over that.
Yeah.
So they decided to say, well, I'm not leaving.
Right, I can't force
I'm still committed.
Yeah.
That don't change my commitment. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's not changing my commitment. But maybe she might have been as committed or never committed. So when it comes to stuff like that, like divorce or marriage, or it could be vice versa. You could not be committed and she committed. Mm-hmm. So it's like you really can't like determine. That's something you couldn't really. You had to sit down and find out the real deal,
right?
With the couple and see what the deal is on that. You know, to say a person is committed or not. When it comes to that kind, when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, that's like a whole different animal to me than to say I'm committed. Well, I could still be committed, but I mean, say if I'm committed to something, because to me, commitment is like a solo thing.
Okay.
It's not a team sport to me. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is who I am. I'm committed to this. That don't mean you got to be. You say you are. You could be. Mm-hmm. And I hope you are, because we this team, you know, we committed to stick together and play together and win games or whatever.
Right.
Because the team, he lost commitment. That don't mean I'm losing commitment. So it's personal. Just let me say it.
Well, even with the personal stuff, I find it interesting because you can be committed to, let's say you're committed to losing 50 pounds. You can be committed to that. Mm-hmm. And as you're going through that, at the end of the goal, after you lose the 50 pounds, you're like, man, I don't even like how I feel. Mm-hmm. I don't lost 50 pounds and I feel less, like, let's say like the average weight is 180 and you're sitting at, let's say you're sitting at 220. Mm-hmm. So you lose 50 pounds, that'd be 170. Mm-hmm. You're sitting at 170 like, okay, I lost the weight, but I felt better when I was like 215,
Okay.
200,
Okay.
right? Health wise, mobility wise. So I guess even in the solo commitment, you don't even know where that journey might take you. You might
Right.
change your feelings and how you feel even as you're committed to something. I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Because things could change in the commitment journey.
Right.
Yeah, things could change. Or like you said, once you get to the end of it, if the Lord allow you to fulfill your goal of commit that you committed to, you may not like it at the end. But it all goes back to the journey. That's why I say, don't worry so much about getting to the end. Because you might, like you just said, you might get to the end, don't even like it. Commit yourself to the journey. And then enjoy that. Learn from that. Love people. Treat people. Build relationships. All these things through the journey. Because truth be told, we don't know when it's going to end.
Right.
Just because we got a goal going, that don't mean we're going to see it. So it's like, you take advantage, like they always use the word present, right? Like, you get a present for Christmas or something. Always look at present as the moment. Because in the present, we sitting right here.
Yeah.
This is a present. I always look at present like that. I don't look at present like a gift or anything, which is still a gift. To be here is a gift. But, because I can walk up them steps right there and drop dead.
Right.
So I don't even know. So I'm still in the journey because I'm still alive. So I'm still in the journey. So I'm enjoying the journey because you may not never get to the end of what you want as quote unquote the end goal.
Right.
You know. Let me read this Galatians 6:9 on a commitment. It says here, let us not become weary in well doing and doing good. For at the proper time, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. You know, and that's just like we just talked about. Reaching a goal, you have a goal in mind. And it says, you will reap your harvest if you don't give up. Only God knows the harvest, I believe. And we all have our own personal harvests. Like you just said, you lost the weight. That would consider, you went on, you didn't give up, you accomplished your goal, you committed yourself, and now you got what your commitment. Now it's time to commit yourself to something else.
Right.
So it's always ongoing. You know. But some people is not committed to anything. Some people just willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You know. And sometimes you can get that way. You just get, it's like going to work every day, coming home. Going to work every day, coming home. Like a routine. And not really set in place a commitment. That can happen too, which is nothing wrong with it. You're just in that state at that time, I believe. You know. But commitment to, back to what you said earlier was key, makes purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, commitment does. It does. It does. It gives you a purpose for what you're doing and purpose for living. Purpose for goals to reach. Yeah.
All right, so we've been talking for a while, so I kind of want to wind down a little bit. I want to ask this question.
Okay.
Out of the 4 topics we talked about today, self-control, responsibility, trust, and commitment, which one was the hardest one for you to come to terms with?
I would say self-control.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say self-control.
And why would you say that?
Because self-control is spontaneous to me. Or it can be spontaneous. Because when I think about responsibility, to me, you either kind of responsible person or you ain't.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's just who you are. You kind of your character. You know, trust. I feel as being a trustworthy person. Mm-hmm. You know, and commitment. I might not be committed all the time, but relationship wise with mom,
Yeah.
I would say all the time. But, and I would say even with committed to Christ, I would definitely say that. As far as, when I say that, I mean like committed to do his will and try my best to live a Christian life. I'm committed to that. Even though I fall short all the time, but I'm committed to that. I stumble down like that and I roll on the ground a little minute and get a little bit of mud, and I get on my knees and back up on my feet. Mm-hmm. But I'm committed. But when it comes to self-control, that's spontaneous to me. When I say that, it's like 1 second it's cool, next second you got to activate it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the hardest thing for me. That's why it's the hardest thing for me.
Which, as a younger person, what would be the one that you would tell us to focus on first? Which of the four would you tell us to focus on first?
I would go back to self-control.
Okay.
Because that's going to develop character and all. And it's the same with me. It's spontaneous. It's like constant darts. The devil constantly throwing darts at you from all angles. You could be calm as a cucumber 1 minute, and the dart come, and you got to activate self-control. It's like, you know. Somebody can say something, and they say it in the wrong tone of voice. Lord, I ain't like that. But I gotta chill.
Yeah.
I can't respond back. So spontaneous. And self-control, I say with young people, because young people just fly off and do crazy stuff. They don't even think about it. But if they develop some type of self-control, a lot of things they don't have to regret doing. Mm-hmm. These other things that come. Responsibility, trust, commitment. But if you don't have no self-control, you ain't had none of that.
Yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out, because I was thinking about that, but I didn't know how to articulate it. So I think that self-control grows discipline.
Definitely.
And if you have discipline, then you can do the other three things.
And it's going and what it's going to do is going to build. You building on it.
Yep.
Because it's going to start here. You ain't got no control. You went off. But as time, things in life, you're going to build. You're going to build. And then that thing that started down here is going to be nothing to you. Mm-hmm. And then when you get way up here, the things here are going to be nothing to you. It's because how life can hit you and how the Lord gave you the strength to act on these things. Mm-hmm. And how to deal with that situation. Because, what is it? 1 Corinthians 10:13, I believe it says, no temptation is all temptation pretty much is common to man. There's nothing different too much. I'm not getting it like I want to. Let me what I say. 1 Corinthians 10:13. That was one of my scriptures when I was let's see where I'm at right here. No temptation to seize you except what is common to man, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. Mm-hmm. But that's my point. When you know, where's it, 10:13? Let's see. Yeah, it says, right here. Oh, no temptation to seize you except what is common to man. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it.
Amen.
That's self-control. Because temptation, Lord Jesus, you got to be able. But like he just said, all that temptation is common to man. Happens to you, happens to me, happens to mom, happens to Stia, happens to grandma. It happens to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't nothing new. It's common. He said, the Bible says that temptation is common to man, meaning that's how the devil come after you. So it's like, okay, I've been through that. In other words, my point is, I've been through that one before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stronger now. That joker ain't gonna get me like he got me last time.
Right.
That's when the building comes. Now, that one he got you last time down here, man, please. I done been there before. Now I know how to control myself with that.
Right.
I ain't getting out of control over that one no more. So, but why is the hardest one? Because you got to keep going back. You gotta build on that. That's what makes it hard for me. It's like you gotta build on it, and then when it come, you gotta go with what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the Lord to help you. So that's why I say that's the hardest. I believe that's hard for all of us as human beings. Just me, my personal opinion. I believe that's the hardest, self-control, man, because it can come anytime. When you committed to something, you committed. It ain't like, oh, I got to recommit. Well, you have to recommit yourself sometime. Well, it ain't like periodically.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It ain't like that. And then trust it, man. You even trust it, you don't. And then being responsible, you know, it may be times you're not so responsible, but it ain't like a dart.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that is a good way to end the episode.
No doubt. No doubt.
Is there any other bits of wisdom you want to tell our audience? You can look into the camera if you want to talk to them.
I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and thank the Lord for being with my son once again and able to rap with him on some issues that we all deal with, and hopefully it'll make all of us better. Pray on it. If you're dealing with something, you know, one of these topics that we have, I hope we helped you a little bit on it with our viewpoints. You know, we don't know it all. We just use the wisdom that God given us and try to expound it on other Christians and other people as well. Thank you for your time.
And guys, I'm a little tired, but I had a good time rapping with my dad about this stuff. He pretty much took all the words out of my mouth. I had a good time, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll check y'all in the next one.
Peace.